Well, the winter months are upon us, and sometimes that can be difficult for Alzheimer's patient and their family. So joining us today to tell more, give us some tips on what happens during the winter months and try to help out everyone. We've got Marybeth Torsell, and she is program manager with the Alzheimer's Association of Northwest Ohio. So thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we all kind of have winter blues sometimes, and it's cold and things like that. But sometimes for Alzheimer's patient, those really can affect them in different ways and really hit hard, can it?
It can. Like sundowners is, kind of a collection of symptoms that happens in the evening. Sometimes they call it sundowning syndrome, even though it's not a disease. It's just behaviors that happen in the evening time, as dusk into the evening hours, where it just causes a lot of confusion, some agitation, and some difficult behaviors. And that tends to happen more in the winter months because it gets dark so early, or it's dark all day long.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing. And then with that confusion, they tend to wander a little bit more?
Yep. 8 out of 10, or 6 out of 10 people with Alzheimer's will wander. And so it's really important, especially going into the winter months, that you really try to safeguard, your house and prevent that from happening. And there's some things to look for, if your loved one, is still driving, but they start coming home later because they're getting lost going to familiar places, or they start talking about things that they need to do in the present, like I need to go to work, even though they've been retired for decades, or they say I want to go home even though they're at their home. That's kind of indicative that they're thinking of things in the past that they're thinking are present, and then they might start wandering.
Okay, all right. So how do you reduce those risks? I mean, do you drive for them, or what kind of tips can you have to reduce that wandering? Yeah, because that could be scary.
Yep. Definitely driving, if they start getting lost, then it might be time to start, make sure that there's a GPS unit on their car, or that they have their phone with them, or tracking device in their shoe, or something that they keep tabs on them if they do get out and drive. But, you can put a bell on your door, so if the door opens, you'll hear an alert. Or if they wander at night, you can put a mat by your bed that's pressure, so if they step on it, it'll alert that they're out of bed. Put the door locks up higher, not at eye level. So there's things like that you can do to prevent them from leaving the house.
Right, yeah, exactly. Okay, so I assume this is one of those things where you should plan ahead, because if something happens and you take those precautions but they still get out, what do you do?
Yeah, it's a good idea to have a recent photo of them, because some people, don't, or have it handy at all times so that you can have it right away. Let your neighbors know what's going on, and say, if you see my mom, my dad, whoever, if you see my loved one out, let me know right away. Keep a list of places that you think they might go. Where did they used to work? Did they live someplace, their childhood home nearby? Is there a church that they used to go to? Are there places that they'll frequent that they might leave for?
And I assume you don't want to call law enforcement right away, but should you? How much time do you give yourself?
Yeah, usually if you don't find them within 15 minutes, then call and say, my loved one has dementia, here's where we last saw them. And then usually within about 1.5 miles is where you'll find them, and know what hand they are. If they're right-handed, they'll tend to go on a right path. They'll tend to make more right-hand turns. If they're left-handed, they'll tend to go more left.
Okay, all right. And you mentioned like GPS or something like that. Is it bad to put, like, I don't know, some kind of tracking device on them or something? Is that possible even?
Yeah, sometimes there's, you can put like air tags in their shoe, or, you just hope that they put their shoes on when they leave, but yeah, putting some type of tracking device on them is not a bad idea.
All right, so manage these things, and of course a lot of this information is on the website, so you can get these safety tips and hopefully put your mind at ease and enjoy your winter months.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
All right, thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
All right, don't go away. We'll take a look at the weather forecast next.